This man who came to the police station with such a swagger was, actually, the mastermind of a major robbery case. But due to insufficient evidence, the police had been unable to do anything with him. Just a few hours ago, the cash-carrying truck had just driven onto the overpass when a large iron hook fell from the sky and suspended the truck in the air. With a loud bang, the cash-carrying truck was smashed to the ground, and the cash-carrying drivers inside lost consciousness. The next second, all the robbers appeared, armed with heavy weapons, and acted without any delay. After they robbed the cash in the car, soon, a large number of police arrived at the scene, and the two sides engaged in a fierce gunfight. Originally, it was difficult to determine the winner with their respective firepower, but the robbers used hostages to prevent the police from acting rashly. At this time, the leader Cao Nan, who was lying in ambush not far away, put on a mask and drove over at high speed. He first fired several shots at a policeman, and then stopped at the side of the money transporter. Just as the robbers were about to flee, a police car suddenly cut in from behind, and the driver was police officer Lui Ming-chak. He directly pulled out his gun and pointed it at Cao Nan, and the confrontation between the two sides entered a stalemate. What Lui Ming-chak did not expect was that a high-speed car rushed from the side, and the violent collision trapped Lui Ming-chak in the car, and he could not move. Cao Nan, as if deliberately provoking, brutally killed the hostage in front of Lui Ming-chak. Lui Ming-chak could only watch the robbers go away. Afterwards, the driver was arrested by the police. During the interrogation, Lui Ming-chak discovered that this person was actually his junior high school classmate Tao Chengbang. They were both members of the school judo team. They were not only competitors, but also good friends. However, after graduation, Tao Chengbang went astray and became a gangster, while Lui Ming-chak continued to complete his studies and eventually became a senior inspector. Although they were old acquaintances, Lui Ming-chak was very sure that Tao Chengbang, who had a criminal record, was an accomplice of the robbers. However, Tao Chengbang refused to admit it. He insisted that he crashed the car because he was frightened. In order to find evidence of the robbers' crimes, Lui Ming-chak wanted him to become a tainted witness and promised to guarantee his safety. But Tao Chengbang refused to say anything. Lui Ming-chak's face changed instantly when he heard it. While the two of them were talking, Tao Chengbang's girlfriend Luo Yanbing came to the police station. She brought a lawyer to bail Tao Chengbang out directly. Although Luo Yanbing looked fierce and difficult to mess with, she was actually wholeheartedly devoted to Tao Chengbang. Not only did she wait for him to come out during the years he was in prison, but she also wanted to pull him back to the right path. Seeing that Tao Chengbang was sent to the police station just after being released from prison, Luo Yanbing was angry and had a big quarrel with him. After that, under Tao Chengbang's repeated assurances, she chose to believe Tao Chengbang again, and she even sold her beauty to help him find a job. But what she didn't expect was that Tao Chengbang didn't really want to turn back. That day, he met with Cao Nan and his group again, preparing to plot a robbery together. Lui Ming-chak also got the news, and after careful deployment, he wanted to catch them all in one fell swoop. Although the police used high technology to avoid surveillance, just as they were about to break the door, Cao Nan, who saw the clue, fired a powerful grenade directly at the door. The huge explosion caught the police off guard, and he followed with a grenade. Cao Nan took the brunt of the heavy weapons, leaving the police led by Lui Ming-chak helpless. The fight was very embarrassing. During the chase, Tao Chengbang and Lui Ming-chak met at the stairs. After he knocked down Lui Ming-chak's pistol, the two of them started a close-range fight, all the way from the stairs to the rooftop. At this moment, the time bomb in the building exploded instantly. The powerful shockwave blew them out, and they fell between the two buildings. But Lui Ming-chak was still unwilling to let him go, and the two of them competed in judo in the air. But the iron fence couldn't stand this tossing, and the two of them fell straight down. Tao Chengbang took the opportunity to grab the clothesline and escaped successfully, while Lui Ming-chak fell directly on the tarpaulin, and only then did he luckily save his life. In this operation, the police suffered heavy casualties, but fortunately, they did not gain nothing. One of Cao Nan's men was successfully captured by the police, and the rest of the robbers all escaped. Seeing that their accomplice was about to be caught, Lui Ming-chak was full of confidence. He led his team to Cao Nan's company, wanting to take him back to the police station. But Cao Nan was not afraid at all, and leisurely practiced calligraphy. On the white rice paper, the words "Obey the law" were particularly glaring, like a provocation, but more like a mockery. Just then, news came from the police station that the arrested accomplice had swallowed the evidence and jumped to his death. Seeing the other party's mocking expression, Lui Ming-chak knew that he had lost this round again. The plan to arrest Cao Nan had become a dead end. Just when Lui Ming-chak was at a loss, a phone call brought a turning point to the case. due to the loss of one of his men, Cao Nan was short of manpower and found Lui Ming-chak's informant Akiang for help. Of course, Lui Ming-chak would not miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He immediately agreed to let Akiang take on this job and handed him a mobile phone without anyone noticing. Soon, Akiang was called to participate in the operation. Because the incident happened suddenly, in order to tip off Lui Ming-chak, he could only pretend to call his third aunt and ask her to help pick up the child from school. But just after Akiang finished the call and handed over the phone, the boss called back. Fortunately, Lui Ming-chak was in time and asked the cleaning lady at the police station to answer the phone, which deceived the group of people. Later, Lui Ming-chak locked the whereabouts of the robbers through the mobile phone positioning. While they were guarding outside, the cunning robbers found clues and temporarily canceled the operation. This time, the police got nothing again. However, Akiang was found to have a problem with his mobile phone halfway, and his undercover identity was exposed. The criminals were about to kill Akiang in the car, but Akiang fought back desperately, and he found a chance to jump out of the car. Akiang, who had finally escaped death, ran home desperately. He knew that Cao Nan would not let him go so easily. When Akiang returned home, in order to calm his daughter down, he could only bear the pain and slap his daughter, and then he secretly hid his daughter in a suitcase. At this time, Lui Ming-chak knew that Akiang was in danger, and when he rushed to his house, he found that it was too late. Akiang was brutally murdered, and even his daughter was thrown off the building. Looking at the dying little girl, Lui Ming-chak's mind was blank, and he could only subconsciously rush to the hospital. But halfway, the little girl had stopped breathing. At this moment, Lui Ming-chak's world collapsed, and he felt so depressed that he could not breathe. Those innocent people died in front of him one after another, and the murderer is still at large. What's more ironic is that, as a policeman, he is helpless. It was also from this moment that Lui Ming-chak realized that relying solely on the law would not bring the desired justice. He decided to make Cao Nan pay the price in his own way. The opportunity came soon. According to intelligence, Cao Nan was on his way to the airport. Lui Ming-chak knew that this was his last chance. If Cao Nan went abroad, all his efforts would be in vain. After a fierce chase, he finally forced Cao Nan's car to stop in a wasteland. Lui Ming-chak, who was extremely angry, kicked Cao Nan's car window desperately. But Cao Nan had no intention of getting out of the car, and turned up the music in the car to the maximum. He knew that there was no evidence, and the police had no way to deal with him. At this time, Lui Ming-chak completely lost his mind. He smashed the glass and tried to pull Cao Nan down by force. But the other party stepped on the accelerator hard and threw Lui Ming-chak out. Then, Cao Nan drove directly towards Lui Ming-chak. At the critical moment, Lui Ming-chak's men helped him block the collision in time. When Cao Nan struggled to get out of the car and tried to escape, Lui Ming-chak had already pointed his gun at him. Cao Nan still smiled contemptuously, but he guessed wrong this time. With a gunshot, the whole world was quiet. The next second, Cao Nan was pushed into the ambulance. Just when he thought the matter was over, Lui Ming-chak suddenly received a CD that day, which contained what happened that day. It turned out that after Lui Ming-chak shot Cao Nan to death, he put all the fibers and blood on the girl's body on him. But unexpectedly, this move was filmed by the camera in the car. Later, the video was accidentally discovered by a gangster, who used it to blackmail Lui Ming-chak and demanded a huge hush money of 500,000. Just when the gangster was complacent, his asthma suddenly broke out. Lui Ming-chak wanted to save him, but thinking of the CD, he hesitated. In the end, Lui Ming-chak turned around and went out with his asthma medicine. He thought the only person who knew the truth had been solved, but the next scene made him completely dumbfounded. It turned out that after Cao Nan knew that his men were arrested, he wanted to leave Hong Kong immediately. Brother Pa took over his people. Akiang's death had nothing to do with Cao Nan. Tao Chengbang told him this because his wife was pregnant, and he didn't want his child to be born without a father. So he wanted to turn over a new leaf and become a tainted witness for the police. Soon, the two sides reached an agreement. But after the serious crime team formulated the arrest plan, Lui Ming-chak did not tell him about the informant. With an explosion, the robbers led by Brother Pa stopped a cash transport truck again. But when they opened the door, they found that there was a group of fully armed special police in the car. The powerful firepower killed a robber on the spot, and his accomplices behind him immediately launched a counterattack. But this time, the police were clearly well prepared. Knowing that he could not win, Brother Pa could only order his men to evacuate quickly. Just when they drove to an intersection, Lui Ming-chak drove his car directly towards them and then opened fire on the robbers. A younger brother was shot in the calf and fell to the ground. In order to save him, Brother Pa began to shoot indiscriminately at the street. In an instant, several innocent civilians died under the gun. But Lui Ming-chak did not stop there. Under the cover of a large number of special police, he wanted to kill all the bandits. At this time, a robber had little ammunition left. Seeing more and more police coming, he knew that he could not win, and he decisively chose to abandon his gun and surrender. Just when the police were about to step forward to arrest him, a cold shot was fired, and the surrendered robber was shot in the head. And the person who fired the gun was Lui Ming-chak. At this time, Tao Chengbang knew that this time, Lui Ming-chak would definitely not let him go. Seeing that those who surrendered were beaten to death, the remaining robbers were angry and angry. They picked up their guns and fought back again. In an instant, countless eggshells fell. Based on the principle of killing one and earning one, they fired fiercely at the police. At this moment, Tao Chengbang called Lui Ming-chak's mobile phone and said that he had seen the video. Then, Brother Pa took his men to hide in a bus. He planned to tie explosives and force his way out. Seeing that they were surrounded, a new man was afraid and proposed to get off the bus and surrender. And at this moment, Lui Ming-chak took the initiative to call Tao Chengbang's mobile phone. As the ringing sounded, Tao Chengbang also confirmed his undercover identity. Just when Brother Pa was about to shoot Tao Chengbang to death, the younger brother behind him suddenly opened fire and shot Brother Pa on the spot, because only when Brother Pa died, he could save his life. But the younger brother still did not escape the fate of being shot. Then, Lui Ming-chak, who was in the dark, pointed his gun at Tao Chengbang, who was running away frantically. Just looking at the back of his old friend, Lui Ming-chak suddenly regained his sanity and stopped his hand that was about to pull the trigger. But the next second, Tao Chengbang was knocked to the ground by a speeding truck, and the wheels rolled over him mercilessly. In the last stage of his life, he finally understood what he wanted. But everything was too late. Justice may be late, but it will never be absent. Tao Chengbang died dramatically in a car accident, and looking at the devastated city streets, Lui Ming-chak recognized the mistakes he had made. Afterwards, he fulfilled his promise to Tao Chengbang and sent a police fax to Luo Yanbing, which stated Tao Chengbang's identity as an undercover agent. After fulfilling his promise, Lui Ming-chak took the initiative to confess his crimes to his superiors. The storm ended, the sky cleared up again, and everything seemed to have never happened.